Well, hello and welcome to the Mariner, and got an interesting video for you this time. I'm going to do a reaction video, but it's a video that I think needs, from what I'm told, it's one that you should take seriously. It is, of course, the sailing in a Force 10 storm by Erk Aanderaa, the Norwegian YouTuber who's got a fantastic following and has the no bullshit, just sailing strap line across what he does. I've been getting into his stuff, but I haven't watched this video. I just want to show you where I am. It's life at an angle here. It's not just an angled camera. This is where we are. We are on our way to Iceland. You can see me a little bit. We are beating in about 25 knots, which is nowhere near a Force 10. But I've got about an hour and a half until I need to jibe and go west, so I thought this was a great time to do it. I've been kind of busy today. I don't know if you saw that mainsail out there has got a big rip in it, and there's a video coming up soon which is all about that. So I've got myself set up down here, my iPad. You can see literally life is sliding around here. So I've got my little clip here. I can put this in here. It's all done in one continuous cut. All right. So I've got my iPad. Ooh, don't pull the string, Chris. You would destroy everything. So the idea is I'm going to watch Erik's video. All right, let's have a look at Erk Aanderaa. And it's the name of the video is Encountering Storm Force 10. Full credit to him for whatever he's created here. I love his cinematography. Hang on, can I just, before we start this, there we go. Can you hear me on this side? Oh, that's so much easier. All right, let's have a go. Full screen, and here's Erik. The intention of this video is only to present my experience with deliberately entering a Force. So Force 10, you do have to understand, there's not many boats that are built to go into that legally. I know my boat, I know the waters I'm entering, and I know my limitations. Still, this situation is dangerous and can easily take a very bad turn. Well, if it's the boat that he normally uses, it's not a very good idea to take that boat into it. This boat is 85 foot and designed for sailing around the world. Yeah, I do love that, the NBJS. And Force 10, you don't take that lightly. Got some volume here.
Saturday, the 15th of September at 1600, I set my course towards the island of Røvær, 1 hour sailing away from Haugesund.
So beautiful, isn't it? Wow. I was hoping to go to Norway this year, but it's not worked out. I'm about 50 miles off the Faroe Islands at the moment.
The past days, I had been following the weather reports.
Wow, look at that.
They could predict a Force 10 storm coming our way, rushing over the North Sea, building waves up to 8 meters to crash into our coastline
waves
at its highest peak on the next day, Saturday at 1300. Being addicted to adrenaline and adventures, I decided
I'm just gonna pause this now for the first moment, just so we all understand each other. A wave with a breaking face that is 1/3 the width of your boat has enough power to roll it over. So his boat's 35 foot, something like that, so it's going to have about a 10-foot beam, so 3 meters, so you need to have a 3-meter rolling face on the front of an 8-meter wave, and that's easily enough to roll a boat over. Okay.
Take part in this ferocious weather system. The wind would come in from northwest, so to stay on Røvær put me in a perfect position to slingshot myself into the waves and ride them downwind all the way back to Haugesund.
Okay, cool. So he's deliberately pre-positioning himself before he goes and does the trip. That's pretty smart.
But first, I had to struggle my way out there.
He's got to struggle his way up there, yeah. So he's on the beat here now.
The coast,
that looks big enough there.
35 knots of westerly gale straight on my beam.
And jib straining.
Now please step on board and join
the ride. With these roller furling
life.
jibs, it's difficult because if you put too much force on them, you put a lot of torsion into the actual stay, the foil that they're wrapped around. You can end up twisting the bottom. That you go, hey, I want you to hold it at this position, and the sail says and it just twists itself off the drum. I had that happen in a Volvo 60 with roller furling. Oof.
Hope it doesn't close.
Situation I'm in now is my J5 is up. It is not furled, or rolled or reefed. It just does what it says on the packet. It's a heavy weather sail. Alright, 30 knots apparent wind speed, and he's doing 4 knots. So it's like 25 knots blowing.
To my surprise,
that's
the wind
enough.
Suddenly picked up to westerly gale force.
The wind picked up. The flag's going pretty hard.
Do not get it too much on my nose. Passing the open ocean, I went in through some shoals.
So difficult with these little boats when you're going upwind.
Onto my beam.
Because they can literally be picked up and thrown around by the wind. Sletta. So yeah, I remember skippering an X42.
Is a fair and brutal open
is that right?
coastline
X42, yeah.
Haugesund.
And it was the X
strong
yachts
winds
are one of the
combined with shallow waters, shoals,
some of the only boats I know of that actually
together work in harmony.
The way they're built, the scantlings are overseen by Bureau Veritas, which means that they have a rating of like how much wind they can take, and they can take force 10, okay? 35 knots, but it's still on the nose, right? Man, that's a difficult beat for that little boat. It's got that jib strapped in real tight. My great worry in that situation would be that that furling drum goes. Like his goggles, that's pretty smart.
For the storm tomorrow, but I think it's catching up on me now. It's a little bit earlier than the weather report said.
See there, the wind's kind of on the beam. The wind is going to be at 90 degrees to the waves, so you can always tell what the wind angle is by looking at the waves.
My goggles on. Jesus. God.
Yeah, it can get pretty windy.
This is what we live for. Wow.
So that 30 knots, that busted main that's out there, it's at the last voyage of the year,
has a bad
and it blew out
with a violent
this afternoon, and it blew out in 35 knots. It's a giant mainsail. So 35 knots is not
many sailors
to be messed
and
with.
seafarers have been forced to take their last breath here. May they all rest in peace.
Well, that's cool. He gives credit to those who go before. The only thing I'm worried about is you're meant to learn from those who go before. Like, don't get stuck in the same situations they were in. Oh, this is cool. I love his footage, hey? He makes it a really, really like beautiful video. It's the thing that I would really strive for. I'm actually kind of going the other way of what I'm doing now, trying to make it even more raw so I can film things and give it to you like now, like I'm at work. I'm wearing this while I sleep tonight. But in that way I can actually get stuff off the boat. So I'm doing this all the time.
The wind and waves calmed down as the island
it's so
was
beautiful.
giving me
I don't have time to be editing things. That noise in the background, if you hear rattling, is the spinnaker sheet block on the side deck.
Gets rough.
Oh, and this drone footage. Yeah. Wow,
here
so
they have
beautiful.
A hotel, guest houses, and a store with all the supplies you'll ever need to have a memorable stay coming the seaway.
They look like they know
boat.
about heavy weather.
You can either drop
that
your
Helly
anchor
Hansen gear he's
in a
wearing?
well-protected bay called
Hey, he's got
Sugevågen.
anchor windlass. I wish I had an anchor windlass. We haven't done anchoring on this boat. It's not good doing it on racing yachts. It's a bit of a messy situation. Good, she's going to get some sleep. She's going out well rested. This is the area that he really knows around.
I was going for the last choice tonight.
Pretty cool. I'll lift the iPad up so you're not getting just like a hat and nothing else. It's a nice little boat. I don't know what kind of boat that is. Fiberglass, obviously. 80s design by the look of it. You can hear the noises as I beat. That's why I thought it's... I know roughly what's in this. Obviously, the title is very descriptive. I thought if you're going to do a reaction to video, I might just look like I'm sitting on the couch here, but like...
Good morning. Well, it's not good morning.
We know that I'm not just sitting on the couch here, right?
It's 1 o'clock, 1300, and I've been having my cup of coffee, and boat is heeling over.
Oh, it's so nice inside.
Just from the wind outside.
Yeah, I don't have this level of luxury.
It's just blowing crazy. 50 knots in the gusts outside the harbor.
50 knots. And the gusts outside. Good lord.
Walk to the other side of the
50 knots is very serious weather. I have been in a lot more than that.
It is insane.
But from 40 knots onwards, it's serious. Yeah, that's windy. If you're inside, like, good lord. Please do not go out into that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's why I chose to do a reaction video to this, because like on the one side it's like, yeah, go for it. On the other side it's like, is this promoting a very sensible attitude to the sea?
Be normal, I guess. Something wrong with
It's gonna be anxious, yeah, okay. Oh man, yeah. that is not super groovy. He's leaning pretty hard on those fenders.
Yeah, it's keeping me ready for this.
He's like the king of the B-roll. I've got to learn how to do this. Like go out and get more atmospheric shots and everything.
I'm not going to hoist the mainsail because of it's really difficult to get it up in this wind.
Wow, such amazing landscape. Look at that spume. Wow.
And it's going to keep me.
This is great so far. I'm just enjoying the scenario.
Yesterday, so it's going to be fine. So the wind is northwest.
So the main part of the storm was yesterday. Is that what you're saying?
Downwind, so
it's going downwind. Okay.
A little bit to not have it straight on my tail, because that's the worst condition. So I'm going to have it a little bit on my beam.
7.3 meter waves, says Windy.
Can't wait to do this.
That's the app I think that he's using to get his information up on the screen there.
You don't want to miss out on this one.
To check the sea state and conditions, I took a hike to the north end of the island.
Alright, just going to go and check the sea state. It's a bit like you do when you're doing whitewater
kayaking.
kayaking.
View of the
go
rugged,
and
yet beautiful
look at the next challenge.
Lighthouse.
Well, it looks pretty flat on that day.
Built in 1892, it has led thousands of mariners safely towards the coast from the North Sea for 127 years.
Wasn't it in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that guy that they meet at the end that built the world? Didn't he do the fjords of Norway?
This serves as a nice turn
He was really
point,
proud of it or something?
I'm just out for a day sail.
I thought his name was like Artie Flatbottom or something.
Cruising around
something silly.
Fun.
If I suddenly have to dive out of this reaction video, it's because I do actually have to go on deck and check things. But I saw it's 20 minutes long this.
Different animal.
And I have to go on deck every 20 minutes, so... here comes the wind. Oh, you're not going out into that, are you? Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
The weather station on the radar mast on the top of the island reported gusts up to 55 knots
55
and
knots.
about 45 knots average.
So gusts are normally 40% more, or can be up to 40% more than standard wind speed.
And ocean,
so 45 knots
numbers,
with gusts to 55.
A Royal Navy officer named Francis Beaufort developed a scale measuring just this. It's based on observations done
We
during
actually developed a system of knowing when to reef vessels.
The Beaufort scale.
There we go.
And it's the most
bit that's missing from that is there's another column
among
which is taken off these days, which is the far right column, which is how much sail you should have
at
up.
the scale, we can notice that today's
trees are broken off or uprooted. That doesn't sound good, does it?
Puts us on a force 10 or a storm. The description
God, he's really building the
shore.
I'm starting to feel more and more anxious. Like I'm at sea in the middle of the North Sea, halfway between Scotland and Iceland, talking to you, and my anxiety level's going up as he builds up to going out on this trip on his boat. So this is him, going? Oh, okay, that's foreshadowing. He's the king of like cinematography with this stuff. Okay, well this is clearly a very much less windy day.
After a lot of considering and thinking back and forth, I got a grip of myself.
Like, it's not even compressing the fenders.
It was go time.
So he has wisely decided to
the wind
wait a little bit
as I left the dock.
So it was a force 10 storm, or it is a force 10 storm, or what's going on here?
The feeling of not knowing what I was.
I don't want him to go out into
was both frightening and exhilarating.
Stay at home. Yes, clip on. Time. Very good man. Well, that's a good point. Where's mine?
I love.
Hang on, I'm literally gonna go. You just keep watching the video for a second.
In my 27 years of sailing, I have learned one thing for sure. Fear is only produced by the lack of knowledge.
It's a very different kind of reaction video. I'm actually having to go and get my own belt. I took it off just before I did this video.
When you face your fear,
I was having my
you get knowledge,
wet wipe shower, which is all I get each day.
What you fear.
Oh, now I've dropped the iPad. Is anything good happening? Don't look at me. Don't see me like this.
You know what this is. The best textbook or video in the world can never teach you this.
Reality-wise, I actually need to be ready to go on deck. I don't have it on my life jacket. I have it on my belt because for most of the stuff I do on the deck, I don't want to be dragged alongside the boat at the moment like this. I want to just be clipped on nice and solid in the cockpit. I'm only going in the cockpit. I have another set of tethers up here which I clip on my life jacket if I need to go any further than the cockpit. But I can't be wandering around with all that metalwork on me all the time. Alright, back to the video. So, okay, they're pretty big waves. They're not very big waves. They look like 2 or 3 meters. But he's just coming out of the port, right? I definitely am not doing this video to like poo-poo his accomplishment. I have 4.5 million views. I know this.
This is the most insane I've done in all my life, I think.
It is. How do you not get any wind on the mic? I need to know your secret. I got this thing on to try and keep the wind off my mic. Yeah, it's pretty windy. It looks like it's shallow water and force 4, force 5 there.
Look at this! Whoa!
Okay.
It's a good 5-6 meters.
Yeah, agreed. 5, maybe. You see the rocks behind him as well, right? He's only just left the shore, so it's still shallow water.
Insane! Wow!
So his autopilot's driving. Okay. So he's going down, dead downwind ahead of it.
Take that sail now. All right.
Is this a good idea? Okay, let's just pause that there. My intention with this is definitely not to take anything away from it. I think that's a really crappy way of viewing a video. But I have to say, professionally, it's a very small boat, and you're going out into very large waves. And the quote which I did hear on this earlier, which is that fear. What did he say? He said, if you don't know something, then you're fearful. I'm not sure that that's true. I think when you know things, you're fearful. I think when you really understand a situation, then you are fearful of it. I am fearful doing this. I'm in an 85-foot boat sailing solo. I've just come up from Southampton all the way around the edge of the UK, all the way through the Orkneys and on now up to Iceland to go and join a crew. And fear is an important part of it. It keeps you safe. It keeps you holding on to things tighter. It keeps you low, and you know, even every bang here, I'm wondering what's going on, what's happening. Like, to say that if you don't know something, you're fearful, and then when you know it, then you have no fear anymore. I don't know if that's true, actually. I remember doing a podcast about the Dunning-Kruger curve, where you get to know something more and more and more, and your confidence increases, and then something serious happens which then crashes you back down to a point of like understanding, and then you grow up on the other side to professionalism. Like, I didn't design this system, I didn't make it up, but that first part is called Mount Stupid. It's you go and do things you shouldn't do. I don't know if that's, I'm not sure. I don't want to poo-poo this, but also, like, 35-foot boat, you're deliberately going out into a force 10. I know. Okay, let's keep going. I'm excited, but now that's bloody windy, right? When you're looking back up the waves like that, that's windy. There's 45 there at least.
Still seeing that the boat was just fine with it.
Live.
My anxiety slowly disappeared.
Hang on. Just 1 second. Let's just go back there. Okay, I'm going back a bit in my video because I want to see something. 15 and 20 minutes of being tossed around. Is he clipped onto something?
Still seeing that the boat was just fine with it.
Little boats scare the hell out of me.
Slowly disappeared.
They scare the absolute hell out of me because they're way smaller than anything I'm used to, and I don't understand how you stay safe on them. Or maybe he's clipped on.
Get the cameras rolling.
So this boat, to give you an idea, is the same size as my cockpit. I love this like heavily zoomed in thing he does. It really is atmospheric.
36 knots relative, so
36 relative, yeah, so it's 40 knots blowing.
About 40 knots now. 42, 43
so okay, so this is cool. So he's being very realistic. It's a storm which was force 10, but it's not force 10 right now.
Yeah, the waves are just the most impressive sight I've ever seen. This is just outside.
You should go to the Southern Ocean, mate. You'd love it.
Just 1 hour sailing from where
I think he's able to make a sea look rough in a way that none of my footage ever does. Not, it is rough, but he does a better job of recording it.
Now than we are inside.
Oh, that sounds like the jibs backwards and forwards.
By itself here, right? Wind is just in my tail. So
that little flinch there is yeah, that's the jib going backwards and forwards. God, look at see the forestay. The forestay is moving like this. Like, what would be the effect of the forestay breaking at this point? You definitely have to go downwind the whole way home.
Well, I need to feel alive. That's for sure. Fucking hell.
Yes, well, I totally agree. See, he's dead downwind ahead of it, and that little boat can't go that fast. And there's literally a basic concept of sailing now. In 1969, when Bernard Moitessier cut the lines that were slowing down Joshua and started to surf, he started a whole new evolution of sailing where instead of keeping the stern of the boat into the sea by dragging warps, you surf. Now this boat is not designed for surfing, so these waves are going to be doing 10 or 15 knots. Yeah, see there? If the autopilot gets overwhelmed, the boat will roll onto its side, it will broach, it will start to lean, and then because the boat is leaning, then it'll be an asymmetric foil underneath the water, which means it will start to steer, it'll start to have an effect, like being in a kayak and leaning on one cheek, and your boat turns, the whole boat starts to turn. It's called bow steering, sorry, and it'll turn, it'll stick the bow in, and whoop, and it'll round up. Now, the fact he's only got a jib up is the thing that's helping him out. It's keeping the bow dead downwind, but if anything happens to the jib, so now he's got to thread the needle through these rocks. Wow. Wow, what a journey. This is definitely the most atmospheric sailing video I've ever seen, by far.
Being washed away towards land, surfing 12 knots.
Put the volume down, I should be getting like double volume. Oh man, yeah.
This was the point of no return.
You don't ever want to be at points of no return, in case you need to return.
To set my course in between the skerries.
So he's on the wheel now, so he's not trusting that autopilot so much. Ooh, yeah, that's looking very good. See that lean?
Give a good chill down my back.
I think the thing that he's got going for me is I don't think he's got, I have to look back at that chart, but I think he's got quite a protected area. It's not full ocean waves coming in. I think is that not a break? I'd have to remember the geography of it. These blacked out moments, I'm wondering if my battery's gone. That was pretty scary. Oh, he's got really close to the rocks. Yeah. Got a few memories like that.
Scary stuff.
Autopilot's doing well.
Way too close to land back here. You can see the
wow,
all the way here, 6 meters. And I
got to watch it with that heavily aerated water like that, because it makes it lose displacement on the boat. Rudder doesn't react properly, it can get really hairy.
I just missed it, luckily. Oh, so now it's I'm soon inside Kamsuna, and I get the better waves will slow down a little bit.
Wow.
This is the most awesome thing I've done all my life, I think.
Oh, you should come sailing with me, mate.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow.
I mean, he's got like a proper camera rig. He's not a guy with a little headset and a phone. Oh, yeah. Well, he made it happen. It's the boat's handling it. I think my fear is just like, if anything goes wrong, that boat cannot handle what comes next.
The weather calmed down slowly as I entered the sheltered waters of Kamsunne.
Right, so super protected, so he knows when he gets home, he's got some protection,
my body was
right?
still full of adrenaline after the unforgettable
I don't know if I'd do that.
I put myself through.
I have to think about that.
For many hours later, I could safely
see, like, this is a big boat, but
fleet
imagine the windage in the rig. Like, if I went downwind in that with any sail up, I'd be doing 20 knots easily. Oh, it's so protected in there, wow.
5.2, just
with the rig, yeah.
Without sails, just on the rig.
How does he not have any wind on the mic from a,
that's me.
like from a video maker's point of view? How's he doing that? Maybe he goes back afterwards and lip syncs it.
Tie the lines, and we'll see how that goes in this wind. Looking forward to it.
Oh wow, look how he lives. Man alive, that's awesome. Oh, that's like the typewriter building at Cambridge. It's very nice and gentle in there, if that's how the docking is. Wow.
So that's what's it. All tied up. Back in port, safe in port. One hell of a ride.
Hell of a ride, yeah, I bet it was. That's
probably, yes. That was one hell of a ride, out of body experience.
Out of body experience, so yeah, that's how it feels.
Not much more to say than live your life to the fullest, I guess. But
yeah,
be
fair
safe,
enough.
do it in a safe way.
Good. I'm like that he's going on about
possible.
safety.
And have fun. Okay. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Well, let's go for a little check on deck. I'm just going to put in 2 minutes here of my thoughts about that. I'm just climbing up. If I put the lights on, then you'll actually be able to see something on deck. Because I think it's worth just saying... Ooh, don't fall off the steps now, Chris. That's not the way to do it. Oh, look, the moon's up. If I keep the microphone underneath... How does he keep the wind off the mic? I don't know. So... this is what going up wind in 25 knots looks like. Not much to be seen that way. We'll look at this way. Hang on, I'll get my head torch, because I know otherwise there's going to be complaints from the cheap seats that you couldn't see anything. People are telling me, you want to see more of the boat? I'm on it. I'll hold the torch, how's that? Kind of get maximum brightness. Good Lord, how difficult is it doing a little bit of reaction video? I'm not coming out of the companionway. Alright, so I now know that there's no vessels around. Ooh, I've never had to do this, like talking on a phone. Ugh. Okay. Try and do it all in one cut so you know there's no like movie magic going on here. Alrighty, so just summing up after that. Anybody who is promoting sailing, anybody who is informing people about sailing, anybody who is giving people inspiration to go out sailing is tops in my book. And Erik is doing it in a way where he's not having to put what we call fleshy thumbnails on his videos to try and promote what it is that he's showing. I would love to sail with him. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. My instinct is that he's not a very experienced sailor. You know, I'm sure, is he like 50,000 miles or something like that? Because that situation that he went out into, I think he's right. I think he knows his boat and he knows where he is, like the piece of water that he was on. But the combination of those, even if it's something you really, really know, it didn't go wrong. So it's a really good video. If it had gone wrong, it would be the most terrible choice of video content ever. That's a very small boat to be out in those conditions. So I think it needs the rider on it, which he had at the beginning, which is like, don't do this yourself. But that aside, what an amazing piece of cinematography, what an amazing creation of a story. That area that he lives in is absolutely unbelievable, and the boats seem to be in fantastic condition down below, nothing like what we got here. So I'm going to go back and watch it, because it's all very well and good doing a reaction video, but you can't like get into it. And I'm obviously in a bit of a situation. I'm listening to something rattling around in my lazarette back there. Like, I'm a bit distracted, but I wanted to do a reaction video whilst I was in a situation enough to be credible as a you know, what is my opinion worth? My opinion is amazing video. Definitely don't go and do that, and don't draw the conclusion, which I'm sure Erik has outlined elsewhere, that kind of boat can do that kind of journey. I think what you're looking at there is the 51% of the time where that goes okay. And I think because of his knowledge of his boat and his knowledge of the area, that went okay. Had that continued for another 5 or 6 hours, he's got no warps behind him, he's got no drogues behind him, he's got no anything. He's got a boat that's very, very easy to roll in those swells. So I think if it was a longer run, it would be very difficult to keep it safe. But yeah, amazing video. If there's any other videos that you think I should take a look at, stick them in the comments down below. If you think that this is an interesting way for me to do a reaction video, then put that in the comments as well. But from a very bouncy and noisy North Sea, 360 miles or something to go to Iceland. Let me just double check my nav here before we finish up. We're going to go to navigation. So this is where I am. And wherever you are, I hope that you are safe and sound. And I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Cheers.